Hello everyone. In this video we are going to be looking at how Python import works behind the scene. So it's a 3-step process that you can see on your screen, and let's start with the step 1. The step 1 basically executes the moment we write something like import OS or import sklearn. The moment we write it and the moment Python interpreter starts looking at that code, it starts this process. Now the process starts with looking at the sys.modules dictionary. So sys.modules is a dictionary, and you can think of this as a cache of all the modules which are available to be imported. Now the reason it is available as a cache is because for recently accessed modules, the accessing and importing becomes faster. What is there in this cache? Let's look at that in a moment. So 1 second. So okay, let me do one thing. Let me open a new file and let me save this file as maybe test.py. Now this file, what I'll do is I'll just import sys. Now sys is a pre-built module which basically comes with Python, and it is a system level library which gives you some system level constants which are dynamic in nature. They are not fixed. Let me show you something. I'll just print sys.modules. Now this will print and give us a dictionary. It is a squish because it is a huge dictionary. Now this dictionary is pre-populated with various keys and values. Now here you can see keys are the actual module names, whereas the values are the module type. Now all the modules have a type called, let me comment this out, module type. Okay, so it basically comes with a type package. We don't want to go into that in this video, but I just wanted to tell you this. Now each of these key has this value which is basically having this type called module type. Now this module type has got one namespace. In other words, that namespace can be accessed through its so this is a __ method, a dict property. Now this property will give us access to all the methods and definitions defined for a particular module. Now coming back to my point that I was trying to convey is that this sys.module has already loaded some pre-built or built-in modules. Okay, now these modules are not readily available right now. To use these modules, you still have to load them. So for example, if you let's say do something like os.getcwd, if you do something like this, it won't work, right? It won't work because it's not currently available here. So to basically make them available, what you need to do is you need to import them, and according to our steps. So the moment I do import os, if I come back here, so step 1 is look at this sys.modules. So the way it will this script will work is, the moment I do import os, it will look at this sys.modules, and if I have to show you this sys.modules, this must be having os somewhere. Let me see if I can locate it. It's a messy dictionary. We can probably, let me do one thing. So let me just get rid of this import for now. So I'll just print its keys, and just to show you that os is already there within this dictionary, so that the actual so we have got this, and let me see if I can find and locate os. Okay, so we have this. 1 second, is it sorted? I guess yes. So o will come after p. So where is p? Okay, so p is here. So os. Okay, so this is the module. So you see, this is the key which is present here. Now okay, so the main point that I want you to take away is that if a module exists in this sys.modules, it will not do anything else. Now in the step 2, if found, it will use that. Otherwise move to step 3. So as we saw in this script, that if we do import os, since os is already there, exist in this, and I can do something like this also to help you convey this point. So I'll say if os in sys.modules.keys, then print os is found. No other steps required. Okay. Now if I run this code, one second, let me clear this and let me run this again. You see OS is found, no other steps are required, which means OS is already there in the sys.modules. I don't need to execute other steps. Now let's say if a package is not found, what will happen next? Then we will move to the step 3, and the step 3 is basically kicking off the import process. Now this process is a really complicated and involved process and a lot of steps, and it's a beautiful process if you understand how it works. So the way it works is, if it does not recognize it, that this particular name is not there in the sys.modules, what will happen next? What will happen is, it will first of all look at this sys.meta path. Now what is this path? Let's try to print that. Okay, so this sys.meta path, what it contains is, it contains list of loaders and finders. Okay, let me run the module. So it is a very small list. It basically contains 3 importers: built-in importer, frozen importer, and pathfinder. Now these 3 importers are kicked in different situations. Most of the time when you are importing a package which is basically not there in os.modules, a pathfinder will kick in, because pathfinder works by looking at the paths in sys.path and then finding out the exact package that you are looking for. Okay, now when will built-in importer will kicked off? Built-in importer will be kicked off when you are trying to import a built-in package, and frozen importer will kick off. So there are many packages which comes in a binary form in the Python interpreter built in. For those packages, for those modules, frozen importer will kick off. But most of the time, 99% of the time, pathfinder will kick off. Okay, so let me come back to the map. So pathfinder will kick off, and what this pathfinder will do is, it will immediately, let's say for example, let me do one thing. Let me come here. Let's say you try to import some package called import sklearn. The moment you do it, and the moment pathfinder is kicked off, what it will do under the hood in the backend is, it will create a new key in not os.module but sys.module. In the sys.modules, it will create a key called sklearn, and it will start by creating an empty module type that I just talked about. So this module type, it will create an empty module type. Okay, and it will happen in the backend. So just to reiterate what I was trying to say is that it will create this key and it will create an empty object. Currently this module type does not contain anything. Now in the next step, it will use that finder, this one, to loop through the directories in sys.path. Now there are some because see, on your computer there are millions of directories. Python interpreter does not want to go through all of those directories. So what it will do is, it will take that finder object and it will look at all the paths. Now where exactly is the path located? Let's run this and quickly inspect what do we have. Notice here, the path's first element will always be the place at which your script is located. My current script test.py, if you notice in the top, is located on desktop. So the first directory path will be desktop, and then there will be things like side packages, and so all these paths are available. Okay, now what will happen is, it will try looking at the directory, for example the module sklearn in these paths, and the preference will be given to the first paths. So if let's say sklearn is found in the desktop, then we are good. We have basically we are done. So I won't be looking at any other paths. Okay, I hope you get the point. So use the finder to loop through the directories and see if the module is present. So we can have two type of situations. A module with the name sklearn might be present or might not. So if found and if not found. If not found, we will immediately throw module not found error. Let's say I want to import this sklearn, and let me see if I can import it or not. So let's run the module. You see module not found error. I'm getting a module not found error because it's not it was not able to locate it. Okay, now let me do one experiment. Okay, but before that experiment, let me come to the mind map. So in the mind map, we get this module not found, but if found. So if found, there can be two situations. Now before coming to this situation, what I'll do is, I'll quickly go to desktop. let me go to the desktop and let me create a new script here. Okay, so one second, let me create a new script, and this script, let's call it as sklearn.py. I'll say save as desktop sklearn.py, and let me print I am from a module called sklearn.py. Now notice here I am storing this script on desktop, and first path is desktop. So in this time it will work. So let me now open the test.py and let me run this again. So you see this, I am from a module called sklearn.py. Now this time it ran without any issue. So let me now come back to this. So if it is a module, it basically executes its code and puts it inside a namespace. Now what is a namespace? So namespace is basically a collection. You can think of that as a dictionary of all the names defined in a module. So for example, my sklearn script might have some functions, some classes. Now those has to be separated from my main script functions and classes. So in those situations, what I will do is I'll create a separate namespace, and though that namespace will be stored where? It will be stored in the modules type. So this particular class will hold the namespace of individual modules. I hope you are getting this point. Okay, so there can be a situation where sklearn is not a module but rather a package. Let me now delete this module first. Okay, and let me now name a directory called sklearn. So if a sklearn is a directory, in this case it must be having a init.py file. And what will happen is, in those situations when we are dealing with a package, the init.py file will be executed and the rest of the steps will remain same. So I'll say I am from a sklearn package. I can also say init.py. Okay, so now if I just close out this and let's try to run this again, this time it will run the init.py. So I am from sklearn package init.py. First, before that it was from a module. So let me now again come back to the mind map. So if it is a package, it will execute init.py and put it inside its namespace, its own namespace. Its own namespace means its own you can say container, and that container is known as this special method called __dict__, and it saves it inside sys.modules. And where does it save it? It saves it in that types.module type object. Okay, so I hope this kind of gives you an overview and overall process of how the import machinery in Python looks like. And I feel I have missed a lot of detail because I could go on and cover this topic for 2 hours straight, and it's a so fascinating and huge topic that I could potentially spend that much amount of time on it. But what I've tried to do is I've tried to give you the most of the juice, most of the nice pieces of information that you need to know to kind of understand this fascinating topic of Python import machinery. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have got any feedback, I would be happy to take up any questions or doubts that you might be having. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.